Okay, this is the last turn of the game. The Commonwealth has 21 IPCs to spend. They don't really need to spend it because there's literally nothing after this, but just for fun, I'm going to put some Canadian units on the board. We'll put my nice new Canadian bomber. I know this is a post-war pattern, but I really liked it, so I wanted to do that. And then an infantry and a tank for 21 total. 12, 15, 21. Okay. All right, combat. There's two actual combats. We'll start over here. The Aussies are going to take Dutch New Guinea and rob the Japanese of a oil thing. It won't make any difference, but just for the game, why not? Okay, the only other combat, obviously, is we have to try and retake Paris. It's not going to happen. The Canadians are coming in from Holland, Belgium with an infantry and an artillery and a fighter from London. Okay. This won't take long, I think. It's going to have to be a miracle for the Canadians to get anything happening here. The Axis do have anti-aircraft, so they can try and hit the Canadian fighter, and they missed. So good news for the Canadians. That's the first step. All right, Canadians have two infantry, or an infantry and an artillery at 2, and a fighter at 3. Here we go. No hits. Great start. Go Canada. All right, the Germans and Italians are defending with 4 tanks at 3, 5 infantry at 2, 2 artillery at 2, 3 fighters at 4, and attack bomber at 3. They can end this with 3 hits, and they just did. 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 hits. So I'll just put that away. Canadians gave it the gold college try, but weren't able to make anything happen. I was going to move some Canadian stuff around, but there's really no point at this point, so I won't. I will place my new units in Ottawa, or in Quebec, sorry. There we go. Okay, so in terms of income changes, even though it doesn't really matter that much, they are going to pick up $1 for Dutch New Guinea at the expense of the Japanese. And so the game will end with the Canadians, or sorry, the Commonwealth up to 20 and the Japanese down to 65. Okay. That's the French literally don't have anything to do. I mean, they have a fighter, but there's not anything they can do with it, so we won't bother with any of those moves. Canadian bonuses, no, just, well, we do have Palau, and I thought there was another one. Is there another one somewhere on the board? Just Palau, I think. Just Palau. That one doesn't count. I thought there was another one somewhere. I know this is riveting stuff. I'll just say Palau for now. Okay, so +1, so that's 20. They're going to get $21 for the end of the game, even though they can't spend it. Okay, so in terms of how the victory points played out, they do lose an oil. They lose Dutch New Guinea, but that is not going to affect the fact that they still have Romania, Borneo, Sumatra, Java, Celebes. That's 5. They only need 4. Okay, so the Axis are going to win this game because they have retained Berlin, Warsaw, Rome, Tokyo, Shanghai. They did take back Paris. They've had Manila the whole game because, again, they start with it. They've had Hong Kong the whole game. They took Calcutta. That was a big one. Japan has easily got the Empire point. They have 65 IPCs. They only need 55. The Reich point, no, not really even close there. World Oil 4, they have. They almost got the Mediterranean point, but Egypt held. Southeast Asia, or South Asia, they have all of those. They did not get the Pacific Islands point because the Americans managed to take those back, but it's an incredibly close game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Exactly the margin of error that they needed or the margin of victory that they needed to win. So super close game, super close game. I have to say, I really do like this 1942 setup. It was a much faster game. And I'll just have a couple of remarks just about different things that I could have done in the game. It was so close. It was so close. It could have gone in a couple. Oh, sorry. No, I did have another non-combat move for what it's worth. We'll send these guys up here just for the hell of it. Okay. So things I maybe would have done differently with the Allies. I don't think I pressed hard enough. The Americans, they're actually a really, really tough nation to play, because I've often heard it said that the best way to play the Americans is just pick a side. Go almost exclusively Atlantic or almost exclusively Pacific. And every time I play the Americans, I do try to split the difference and put some stuff on both sides of the board, and you really can't do that. They were okay, actually, in the Pacific. I mean, they held their own, but weren't able really to get anything going. The board looks actually pretty favorable for the Americans over here, but obviously they were never really able to get close to Tokyo and do anything of any major substance over here. They were able to defend themselves quite well over here, but in terms of being really, really aggressive, there's not really much they did. I was kind of amazed that China kept the Japanese from getting the China point. This game could have been a runaway. The China point was there for the taking, and the Japanese just basically did not have enough units on the ground, although obviously taking Calcutta was huge. That was a really, really big part of it. Not being able to hold Egypt for the Italians, I think I screwed up there. I probably should have fortified it a lot more when they initially took it, and not took units away to do other things. Because again, as I said, I mean, even though the Axis won, they could have won by a couple more points. Russia, I think, played extraordinarily well in the game. They have a lot of they had a lot of really good defensive moves. And were able to sort of push back the Germans wherever they were. I think the Lend-Lease obviously helps them a tremendous amount, and it kept, again, the Russians being in the game basically kept them kept the Axis from just completely running away with the thing. But I really like this variant. I think that the 1942 setup is really, really interesting. Again, as I said, it makes for a much quicker game, and a much more focused game. And it really did come down to the end. As I said, I think the Axis probably could have won by a lot more. But, roll of the dice here and there. Little differences in a couple of different places. But anyway, really, really fun game. I am apparently going to start a new game pretty soon. A guy I played with last year named Jabshire wants to play me again. I don't know exactly what he wants to play, whether he wants to do 40 or 42, and probably BBR 6, I'm thinking. But I will get in touch with him soon and respond to that. So stay tuned. I will have some more videos, I think, in the future for a new game, and this has been a lot of fun. So thanks for watching. I've gotten more views on these videos than I've had on any of my other videos, so that's really, really great. Thanks very much, folks, and signing off from the bar in Ontario, Canada, Sergeant Mercy. Have a good one.